Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Star Fox Adventures. Last time, we went through Moon Mountain Pass and got ourselves our second Krazoa Spirit in the game, and we were directed after getting it to come back here to the Warp Stone and head to Krazoa's Shrine for further instruction. So now we get to finally use the right option of the Warp Stone.
Are you ready to go to Krazoa Palace?
You bet I'm ready. Let's go.
So this is Krazoa Palace. Okay, Tricky. Let's find out where we can release the spirit. Tricky? Tricky!
Sorry. I forgot to tell you. I cannot warp dinosaurs.
That's a shame.
I can still hear you, Fox.
Now I'm not exactly sure how both the Warp Stone and Tricky can talk to Fox like that. I'm gonna just assume, going by like Dragon Ball Z logic, that they had the same kind of power as like King Kai has, and can have this ability to talk to you from wherever they can be, just telepathically. That's the only real logical explanation I can think of. We've already learned that the Warp Stone can't warp dinosaurs, because if you guys remember back in episode 6 of this Let's Play, when I had to go back to the Ice Mountain to collect one of the cheat tokens, Tricky wasn't with us at that point, so that just pretty much just showed you right there he can't warp dinosaurs, but this is really when you find out for plot reasons why. I'm not exactly sure why that the Warp Stone can't exactly warp a dinosaur, but I'm just gonna have to assume because it's maybe their size, even though Tricky's just about as big as Fox, if not smaller. I'm just gonna really assume maybe it's because of a size thing, or maybe it's genetics. We don't really know. But I need to go ahead and use my lantern in here because it's a very dark room. But before we do that, why don't you put it on the Y button so I can use it while carrying this. Yeah, we need to not only carry this thing to the other side, but it's also a little bit of a labyrinth here in the darkness, so that's why I want to have my lantern ready to go. So the way I'm going, this is the way you need to go. Your first time, you'll be running into so many walls because you have no idea where you need to go. And my wireless controller is kind of spazzing out a tiny bit. I might have to replace the batteries here, my Wavebird at the end of this episode. That's what it's looking like so far, but there you go. Made it through that. We have another fuel barrel right here, but we also need to hit this switch before picking it up. If I can aim properly with the fire blaster. There we go. Hitting that switch will cause these little fire bars to move around like this, which will allow us to get through. If you didn't whack that switch with the fire blaster, then, well, you wouldn't be able to go anywhere. So that was required for us to do. Just like in the Volcano Force Point Temple's entrance, right here we have these crystals that we need to hit. So we just wait for the fire to turn the right color, and just shoot. And there you go. And that force field is now gone from the cannon. If you tried to attack this thing normally, well, it wouldn't do anything. But now we can attack it all we want. And it just explodes after that. Not exactly sure what we hit there, but we must have hit some of its fuel source to make it explode. Because that was pretty intense just for my fire blaster. It hasn't done that to any enemy yet. You don't really see too many of those things in the game, but when you do, they can be a little annoying for the force field's sake. But there's plot stuff to get rid of it, so not really that big of a deal. We will be coming back to the Krazoa Shrine quite a number of times in the game, as you can imagine, to return the rest of these Krazoa Spirits. But the rest of the times that we'll be coming back here, we won't be going in that way we just came. That's the only time that we ever come through there. We'll come in through this warp point here. It's kind of weird how that works. You come through this front entrance on your first time, and then after that you realize, what's the point? Let's just go in the middle. Why can't you do that earlier is beyond me. Now if you remember on Kyrstal's side of this, we turn right over here, there'd be a little area where we can release our Krazoa Spirit, but that's not here on Fox's side. We have to go this way. And what we need to do actually here is we need to head all the way to the top, because as you can see, there are these different areas that we can explore here in the bottom. But if you go out of your way to go there now, you'll just be finding a lot of dead ends for you. Either doors that you can't really open up at this point, or just areas that just lead to drop-off points for Krazoa Spirit that you just can't use yet. You can't use any of these drop-off points for Krazoa Spirit at will. You have to use this certain one that is available to you. And in this case, the one that we have to use the Fox is right here. But look at that, we have a familiar face. It's Kyrstal. Remember in the beginning of the game, Kyrstal got encapsulated here in this, well, Kyrstal. Well, now it's time for Fox to meet her.
Wow, she's beautiful. Whoa, a Krazoa Spirit. But how do I get mine in there? What am I doing?
Peppy here! What are you doing, Fox? Release the spirit and get out of there! Peppy, out!
Okay, I'm going.
I can still never get over in that cutscene when Fox asks himself, what am I doing, when he's googly eye over Kyrstal like that, and then Peppy just interrupts him saying, what are you doing, Fox? I just love that so much, it's hilarious. Right over here is where we can release our Krazoa Spirit. And because we have no other way to get back to Thorntail Hollow, the statue just sucks us up. Yeah, that's interesting now, isn't it?
Right there, Fox. Time for you to head down to the seaside. Check the signposts for directions.
Okay, big fella. Good to see you doing your job and helping out.
You cheeky little blighter. Now, I've been keeping this back for you. Ready for when you needed it.
Well, why didn't you give this to us earlier then? This would have been so useful earlier when I was buying all those maps, because you guys didn't see it because I cut a lot of that footage, but I had to just grind for scarabs at times. It's really stupid.
Come back when you need me.
But we're getting told to check our map, and it's telling us to go to Cape Claw.
Keep going.
That's our next required place to go in the game, which is that seaside that the Warpstone was talking about. So, in order to get to the seaside here of Thorntail Hollow, we want to head down over to where we opened that gate when we first landed back here after completing the Dark Ice Mines. And that will take us down, but you want to go ahead and collect as many scarabs as you can before doing so. I already have 46. This should give me like 56 or so. Yeah, 56. You want to collect as many scarabs as you can, because there's a reason why they gave you that big scarab bag now. They wouldn't have gave me that medium scarab bag if there wasn't a reason for it. So I just want to go ahead and collect these, and I should be good. Before heading into this area, I recommend you have at least 60 scarabs. you will need some scarabs in order to traverse this area. And once you get into this place, it's going to be a little harder for you to find as many scarabs as I just did. So, grab them before you leave Thorndale Hollow, since that's one of the best places to grab some scarabs. Trust me, it'll really help out. You'll see why in just a moment. But we just want to head over here, and this will take us to the Lightfoot Village. We're not actually going to be in the village portion of this area. We'll just be passing by it. But we do want to remember this place for later. And let me refill my health while I'm right here. Even though it's just a quarter unit of damage I took, I still want to refill it. And would you look at that, some Shark Claw. Well, let's take him out. Because all we gotta do is whack him a few times, then just sweet kick to the butt or tail, whichever one that hit, and take him out from a distance. Or, you know, he can block every single shot. Well, fine, let's freeze you. Freeze, Shark Claw. There we go. But this right here is the reason why I was telling you guys to collect at least 60 scarabs before coming here. This is a scarab toll.
It's 60 scarabs to enter Cape Claw.
Yeah, you need 60 to get into the next area. 60! That's a lot of scarabs.
Gone. In you go.
And of course, after taking all my money, you gotta burp in my face. Rub it in, why don't you? That's really expensive to get into an area. It really is. So, coming into this area and not having 60 scarabs, pretty annoying. But, I just want to demonstrate, this is a maze here. You don't really know where you're gonna go your first time, but, as you see, I was getting a little bit lost in that section. If you have the map, then this is not much of a maze at all, because you'll know exactly where to go. It's that easy if you have the map. So, yeah, this is pretty much no trouble whatsoever now. But there we go, we're at the end of the maze, and going underground here real quick. Now, you don't really need to do this, but I'm going to anyways. There's some stuff that you can get going down to the very bottom of this little area here. I like to think of it more like a well, because that's what it kind of looks like to me. So if you go all the way down to this well-like area, to the very bottom, careful while you're doing so, you have some fuel cells along the way like this one. But I want to go ahead and jump down one more time. Down here, well, you'll take a good amount of fall damage. I thought for sure I'd be able to survive that. You have all of these blue grub tubs. Yeah. So if you just use your ground quake, you can just collect them all, no problem. And right around here has some plants for you to grab some more energy for your staff. And you also have some fuel cells down here. So yeah, nothing really that important, but if you do come down here, it does reward you. So that's pretty nice. But now we need to find ourselves a staff booster to get out of here. And can't really seem to find it. Oh, here we go. There's a ladder first you need to take, and of course I'm going the wrong way. So you want to just climb up here, and then on the way up you'll need to use a bunch of staff boosting points just to make your way back up. Not exactly sure why they didn't put ladders on the way back up. I'm actually glad they didn't, because if they did, it would take us longer to get back to the top. Since climbing a ladder is slower than just doing this. I love doing that just because of that sheer fact of speed. So much better than just climbing a ladder like this. Waiting and waiting and waiting when you could just boost your way up there about like a few seconds ago. It's just that much of a difference. Well, this should be our final one, putting us back on track to where we need to go. We don't want to climb that ladder because that will actually take us back the way we came in. We want to actually... Or was that it? No, that was it. I was getting myself confused. I was thinking that this ladder was the way we came in, and then the one on the other side was the one that we need to take if we want to go forward. But no, that's not the case. It's this ladder you want to take, because this ladder here will take you where we need to go next. It'll take us into Cape Claw. Now that we've entered Cape Claw, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. So, next time on Let's Play Star Fox Adventures, we'll explore Cape Claw. I'll see you guys next time.